You probably didn't expect the Cleveland Cavaliers to start the NBA season 9-0, but that's exactly what they've done under new head coach Kenny Atkinson. One reason for this is the strong play of point guard Darius Garland. The former All-Star to this point is having the most efficient season of his career, and there are a few factors that would suggest this version of Garland is here to stay. I'm going to take a deeper dive into his season so far and show why I believe this is the case. Time has really flown by, but it wasn't long ago that Garland was named an All-Star in his age 22 season. In that season, one drastic difference was that Garland shot a career-best 51% on two-point shot attempts, including 61% on shots 0 to 3 feet from the rim. So far this year, Garland's making 58% of his two-point attempts, and has been ridiculously efficient on shots within 16 feet of the basket. So what's the big difference in all of this? I have a few guesses. Last season, Garland missed 18 games with a broken jaw, which reportedly led to him losing 12 pounds after the surgery. When Garland returned from the injury, he wasn't nearly as effective scoring off drives. Per the NBA's tracking data, he made 43% of his shots off drives after returning from the surgery, which is the fourth lowest among players with at least 150 shot attempts off drives in that span. This year, Garland's driving more and has converted on 62% of his shots off of them. So what's the big difference? The efficiency with his floater. Of the shots the NBA has charted as floaters, Garland has made 18 of 24 attempts, which is a ridiculous 75%. The dangerous thing is he can get to these shots in a variety of ways. In this instance, Garland is bringing the ball up and quickly gets in the pick and roll, with George Niang setting a ghost screen on the perimeter. Though as he works through that, Jarrett Allen is right there, and Garland works around him. Though look at where Brook Lopez is on the play. He's camped out in the paint. As Garland gets downhill, Lopez and the Bucks now have a dilemma. Lopez can't fully commit to Garland, as Allen's rolling to the rim. Then if Niang's defender comes to help, that could lead to an open three. Instead, Garland hits the floater getting downhill. Here after the dribble handoff to Dean Wade, Garland uses an Allen screen to get open on the left wing. Though this can be trouble for defenses, as the former All-Star is a very capable shooter from deep who is willing to take this type of shot. Instead, Garland decisively gets downhill and gets a step on his defender, though Karl Anthony Towns is in drop coverage here, and like Lopez on the prior play, can't fully commit to Garland with the lob threat Allen provides. That leads to a clean look for Garland on the drive that results in 2 points. Along with the scoring, Garland is averaging nearly 2.5 assists per game off drives, which leads all qualifying players so far this season. Like scoring out of drives, what makes this so tough to stop is that he can create these opportunities in a variety of ways. Here Allen is prepared to set the screen for pick and roll, and Garland doesn't even wait to break down his defender. Though as he gets downhill, he does work his way around an Allen screen at the right elbow. Now look what is there. 4 Pelicans defenders have eyes on Garland, and while that unfolded, Evan Mobley cut in from the left baseline and is wide open in the restricted area. Garland makes the slick pass, and it leads to 2 points and a foul. In this instance, Garland gets the ball from Mobley on a handoff, though since Garland's defender has to work through the screen, the Bucks are again in a bind. Brook Lopez doesn't have the speed to stick with Garland on the perimeter, and committing to him too long could create an advantage. Though knowing how dangerous Garland is on floaters, notice Lopez is keeping his hands up and is in position to potentially contest a shot if the guard attempted one. At the same time, though, you could see Evan Mobley cutting by Lopez, and Garland ends up finding him for an easy dunk. Then there's the other factor opponents have to worry about with Garland. He's a dangerous scorer out of pick and roll. The 24-year-old is used frequently in the action, but ranks in the 79th percentile scoring out of it on a per-possession basis despite the high volume. One thing that really helps is that he's a very dangerous shooter off the dribble and can get into his shot quickly. Here the Cavs are pushing the tempo off a miss, and as Garland brings the ball up to the left slot, Jarrett Allen sets a quick screen on Mikal Bridges. Though by the time Bridges can react after the screen, look how quickly Garland stepped back and got into his shooting motion to create an open look. Bridges does make an effort, but it doesn't matter as Garland knocks down the triple. Here Garland again acts in pick and roll with Allen, though the moment Allen sets the screen, you can see Mo Wagner starting to drop towards the paint. Again, the defense has to worry about overcommitting to Garland here, as Allen's rolling hard for what could be a wide-open dunk. Despite the efforts by Garland's defender to get through the screen, the former All-Star is able to pull up for a wide-open mid-range jumper and knocks it down. In the event Garland is playing off the ball, how has he been faring? Unfortunately, that could be even scarier for opponents. So far, a whopping 75% of Garland's catch and shoot three attempts have been considered unguarded, and he's knocked down 14 of those 25 attempts so far. While some of these can be a result of Donovan Mitchell creating looks out of pick and roll, Garland is capable of moving without the ball too. This starts with Donovan Mitchell catching the ball in the right corner and attacking the closeout. Though notice Garland starts by standing alone on the left wing. As a second defender rotates to Mitchell, you could see Garland immediately start running to the left corner. Mitchell ends up drawing even more attention as he gets towards the paint, and Garland's movement pays off as he hits the wide open triple. So, what explains Garland's early season surge? In my opinion, there are a few different factors at play. He's been more assertive driving, and given his touch in the paint and two lob threats opponents have to account for, that's a lot of pressure on opposing defenses. Then there's his ability to create for himself and others out of pick and roll, where he's very dangerous shooting off the dribble. On top of that, when he's playing off the ball, the Cavaliers are doing a great job of creating open looks from deep for Garland, and he's making opponents pay. While the shooting numbers figure to change with a larger sample size, given the personnel around him, the way Garland's been succeeding figures to be sustainable. This start to the year is a nice reminder that Garland is an all-star caliber talent, and he should continue to be a huge factor for a Cavaliers team with aspirations of a deep postseason run. If you made it this far, thank you, and if you enjoyed the video, don't hesitate to like and subscribe to stay up to date on my basketball analysis throughout the 2024-25 season.